Hey guys, ProBassFish99 here with another video. And this video is basically just going to be an update on what I've been doing this winter for bass fishing and what I'm going to be doing during the spawn and what I'm going to be using, the techniques I'm going to be mainly doing. So, I'm going to give you an update on what's been going on this winter. This winter, I'd have to say, was my best winter for bass fishing since I'm getting really experienced with it and it's gotten easier over the time. So, what I've been doing lately is just flipping. That's all I've been doing really, just flipping and pitching. I've been throwing some crankbaits and jerk baits, spinner baits, but mainly I've been flipping soft plastics. And I have to say, the most soft plastic I've been satisfied with for flipping, and I just got into this bait actually around a month ago, is Havoc. Havoc is a really great flipping bait. It's a really great lure to throw during any time of the year, just flipping in general. And I just been flipping the Crawl Fatties and the Pit Bosses Carolina rig with just your simple tungsten weight and a wide gap hook. And the line I was using is 20-pound braid. I usually, when I'm flipping, I always usually use 20-pound braid for just regular structure. But if I'm like punching or something like that, then I'll be putting on my 45-pound braid. But just for flipping, I think 20-pound braid is the way I like to go. Since my farm smoke, usually I like it for flipping, pitching, or just fishing soft plastics in general. So that's definitely my go-to reel for when I'm doing that, and mainly just even in summertime, I'll flip and pitch all day on flip and pitch jigs, or a wacky rig Senko, or just anything that involves flipping, like a Gary Little Crawl, Sweet Beaver. I'll catch bass on that. The bass, I just love flipping. It's my favorite technique to do. And in spawn, that's the best technique you can use, is flipping. It's the best technique because the bass are going to be hiding in structure with their nest or under docks, and flipping is the best way to get to them in a quiet approach so you don't spook them and you just get into the area as easily as possible. For spawn, I suggest buying some Havoc baits if you haven't tried them yet. Havoc baits, I've been really satisfied with them. They've been working well for me. Right now, it's post-spawn, and the bass are right now, just getting ready for spawn. They're making their nests right now. Then once it hits March, I'm going to get out there real fast. Now I'm just going to flip. I'm just going to flip jigs, tubes, you name it. I'll just be flipping so many different baits. Lately I've been using Havoc baits. All you want to do, just flip that bait right into that structure, twitch it, and you don't get anything on that pattern. Bring it back up, simple as that, flip back in there, bring it back in, simple as that, just flip. And this seems like the best technique that you can do for this post spawn. And the bass, like I said, you're going to be hanging around docks, big trees, laydowns, seawalls. Seawalls is a great place for bass to spawn, so they can be right up on the seawall. They can be all warm. This is a great place because usually places with seawalls are man-made, and that clay they can use is a perfect substance for spawning. It's a great. So in spring, just mainly flipping. That's what I'll be doing, and in mid-spring, I'll be throwing the spinner baits since the bass are going to be slamming those, and I'll just be casting jigs into the bass. And the lakes around here, once it hits mid-spring, they just annihilate jigs. They just annihilate them. And like I was saying, when I was bass fishing this winter, I went to a lake 3 days ago called Camp Halawasa. It's a camp, and I went in there to fish, and I found out a really good way to catch bass. A lot of times in wintertime the water gets really shallow and you can almost see everything, just D lines just running away. But the water was really shallow and they still had some weed beds. I'm surprised by that. Yummy lakes that still have weed beds during the winter time, and the lake's not frozen. There's these weed beds at the shoreline. And what I was doing, I was just flipping those weed beds, and actually a few of them, I was seeing bass dart away. Literally, they just dart out the weed beds. So next day I went back there, knowing that they'd be there. And I flipped a weed bed, the first one, did it about 2 times, and a 3.5 pounder came off and completely annihilated my pit boss when I was flipping it. This is the bass that I caught. It was a really nice 3.5 pounder. I was flipping a pit boss. And I went there again the next day, and I was flipping the weed beds again, and I caught a giant pickerel instead. It was okay. It was like a 3-pound pickerel. It was pretty big. I've been catching a lot of crappie lately. Crappie I've been going after in wintertime since they hit a lot in wintertime, but around where I live it's decent in wintertime for crappie, but it's best in early spring and mid-spring, and sometimes even summertime you can still just slam them. So crappie and bass fishing I've been mainly doing this winter. I caught a few smallmouth at this new lake I went to. I really like it so far. Tomorrow, I'm probably gonna go fishing at the lake with my friend. Hopefully we can do that. I really want to just flip those seawalls and catch some bass like I was a few days ago. I just want to do some fishing and get as much fish as I can for the winter. I've had a good, this is by far the best winter I've had. Mainly all the winters I'd catch like 1 or 2 bass per winter and that was it. But lately I've just been catching bass every time I went. And crappie and bluegill, all kinds of fish, but mainly bass. So that's my update for the winter. And in spring, flipping, man, I'm telling you, if you don't do flipping in springtime, now's the time to do. Because flipping's just the best thing you can do for it. And 3 baits I suggest for it: creature baits, crawls, and wacky rig baits. Those 3 I just annihilate bass on in spawn. Go around the trees, the laydowns, the coves, the seawalls, whatever structure you got. And just flip your baits in there, and you should catch those bass if they're not finicky. If they're finicky, I suggest using shaky head, because shaky head's the best technique to use when the bass are being finicky. That's a great technique to use during the spawn. Then it's a bait that can stand still. You can put it directly in their nest. You can just dance it. You can just keep dancing it until they eat it, and it works pretty effectively as I've done so far. I haven't done that much shaky. I've done some, caught a few bass, but mainly it's been just flipping creature baits. So yeah, this is I'm gonna show you the smallmouth that I caught at that lake that I plan on going tomorrow if my friend can go. I caught a nice 1-pound smallmouth there. I caught a few smallmouth. I caught him on the pit boss. The other one I caught on a husky jerk. It was a fire tiger jerk bait, and he slammed that. But mainly, all I'm saying is, if you haven't done flipping in springtime, try it. In springtime, in wintertime, flip, spinner baits, crankbaits. Those are your best bets for winter and early spring for the spawn. I hope this gave you any kind of information. This is Pro Bass Fisher 99 signing out.